Hello, 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 everyone. I'm so glad to be here with one of my favorite humans on the planet right now, Jennifer Spor. As you may or may not know, I am Mary Gooden, CEO and founder of My Brilliant Life. It's the only way I know how to address myself anymore. It's just being willing to make a choice every single day to step into who I get to be and embrace it and love it and draw the energy of it and share it with all of you. And I always love getting live with you, Jennifer. So thanks for being here. Last week, I think we were live. It felt like, so we're going to just do this all the time. Maybe it was might be 2 weeks ago. But it's so important to connect with one another. And it's so important to share with one another. Because we all have a magnificent gift. And Jennifer, I haven't met you in person yet. It's coming now. It's coming next year.
It is.
But for some reason, I've been running into Jennifer's connections in Sedona. And every single one of them reflects the same thing. You are a powerful and magnificent woman. So I am delighted, Jennifer, to stand beside you right now and share your gifts with this community, with our listeners. In the comments, drop if you're here, drop if you're catching the replay. Jennifer has something very special coming up in the next couple of weeks, I imagine. And I'm going to let you, first of all, share with everyone who's listening, who are you and where are you? And just share a little bit of your frequency with us, please.
Mary, you're such a light. I just love you. And thank you for the warm welcome. It really touched my heart. And yes, it's really crazy and synchronistic how you've been running into my connections lately. And what seems like, I mean, it's synchronistic. It's not random, right? It cracks me up. I look at those as signs, right? That we're on the track to meeting together in person, which will be awesome. So, for those who aren't familiar with me, I'm Jennifer Spor, and I am a spiritual advisor and Akashic Records master consultant and teacher. And so I work with a lot of coaches, healers, light workers, creatives, visionaries, people who essentially are on the path less traveled here, which I know a lot of those here in Mary's world can certainly identify with that. And so I essentially serve as an ascension guide to support people in aligning with their highest path. So whether it's someone newly aligning to that path or someone who's being called to that next level of evolution, because we are here for change. It's what we're wired for. So we're always evolving, always ascending, and always growing. And that's what I'm all about.
It's ever evolving. We are so lucky to be in a time such as this. It's the way I always feel, like that we have limitless space to expand into. And I imagine that is a big part of why Akasha found you. I always like to say that, like, your gifts find you.
Yeah.
And being able to open these records and being attuned to this 12D energy, this big energy that you're attuned to. I would love for you to share a little bit more about why about the ascension of Akasha and how it found you, or how it started moving through you, and why it's important to you.
That's such a fantastic, big, juicy question. I'm happy to answer it. So Ascension in the Akasha is a virtual retreat. This is the first time I'm running it. It's brand new, and it's coming up on October 14th and 15th. And bottom line is, I'm about, beyond giving people information to fish, per se. I teach people how to fish, right? So in the personal development industry, there's a lot of information out there, right? But what the Akashic records serve in doing is supporting us in providing a direct path to ascension, because the Akashic records are our soul records, right? And so this virtual retreat is not an Akashic records training, okay? It's not about the mechanics of the Akashic records. It's about learning how to intentionally navigate your ascension journey through leveraging your Akashic records as a direct path to do that. So this virtual retreat is for anyone who's feeling called to that next level of expansion, right? For anyone who is about living purposefully, living intentionally, leaning into their expansion and growth. That is what is going to be happening in this retreat. And the why behind it is really that, and Mary already said that, it's the Akasha called to me. It called to me several years ago. And I share actually more about my personal ascension journey in the link that we'll include in the comments for everyone, right, to check out more about the retreat. But essentially, I've been on an ascension path for several years. And then at some point, I started to feel this deeper call to truth. This isn't the call to live our purpose, the call to achieve more meaning, that first kind of initial nudge that all of us face, right? This is beyond that. You know, you're already living your path, and then you start to feel this call to deeper truth, because there is a deeper truth behind a lot of the 3D constructs that all of us have been exposed to and that are ascending beyond at this time, right? So this is when the Akashic records started to call to me, and it actually first happened through this set of Oracle tarot cards that I came across that were centered around the Akashic records. I felt drawn to them. I started using them, and then I taught myself essentially how to access my own records and started looking in them. And then a mentor that I used to work with was offering Akashic records training, and the particular method that she teaches I'd found to be more comprehensive than anything else I had come across. Again, because it's actually really easy to learn how to access your records. You know, the depth of it is of accessing the records and how you can leverage them to change your life, to enhance your life and your journey, is not actually widely taught out in the world. So that, all of that, and how the Akashic records have brought me to deeper truths about the universe, about myself, about the true essence of who we all are, who I am, why I'm here, have played such a significant role on my own path that I felt inspired to teach other people not just how to access them, but to actually use them, right? Their own Akashic records as a more direct path to their ascension, which includes, you know, their soul-led business and any and every other aspect of navigating their ascension journey. This virtual retreat that I'm facilitating is so anyone who's new to accessing their records or experienced in accessing their records, even other Akashic record teachers could, you know, attend this retreat. It's really about answering that call that you're feeling to bigger expansion, to deeper truths, and learning more advanced healing technologies that you can leverage for your own growth path and that of your clients and those you serve too. And just as important, you know, this is a space that's sacred, a space of soul connection and sisterhood. And so imagine having this next level awakening, right? in your favorite space, in your favorite place, with your favorite beverage, within a circle of other sisters that you know are soul connections. That's really, you know, what this experience is all about. And I, you know, have this vision of the 8 billion or so people that are in the world, right? Imagine what our world can be like if every person were tapped in to the resources of their own Akashic records. And every time they went to make a decision, leading themselves or other people, they were tapped in at a soul level. That's the big vision that I see and that I feel for the world. And so that's my why.
I love your why, you know, because getting to that, it makes everything fun and easy because we're all tapped into what we know, which we also know. And that part of it is that we all get to be our unique selves. It's like permissions to be who we are and bring who we are forward without any repercussion or condemnation or any of that.
Yes.
It's so important now, because I love that you're creating this now, that we get in those sisterhood circles. Because what I'm learning through my clients and my experiences in my spaces is that there's so many still trying to do it alone. And
Yes.
when they bump into their own shit, for lack of a better term, they just let it pile up on them. But when you have the sisterhood, or you go through the process of this retreat, or you have that safety net, you can bump into it and clear it, because you know that you've got people around you also supporting the clearing of it in their own unique way. And then, so if I was to ask you, let's just say people are really interested and they want to know really 1 or 2 practical values that they'll get out of being part of this sisterhood that can expand them in their life and their business. What would you say? Like 1 or 2
Trust.
words?
Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Deeper trust.
Mm-hmm.
Deeper trust. We could have a whole other conversation about trust, right? And trust is interconnected with surrender, with truth, with love, with forgiveness. So it's hard to pick just 2 values, right? Because they're really all interconnected. Answering that deeper call to truth brings about deeper embodiment of all of these other values, of all of these other things. Chances are that anyone watching or listening to this now or in the future is also someone like me who values the importance of integrity. And that's connected with this as well, right? When you are connected with your Akashic records in how you're showing up in the world, what you're doing, who you're being, there is no subjectivity to that. There is no ego to that, right? You are showing up as your soul self. And that's really what this is all about.
And really the roadmap to the soul self, you're right. Trust is one of the biggest pieces. If I don't trust who I am, I won't vocalize my truth. I won't pull in. And from the business perspective, since that was the question, like if I don't trust who I am, my copy, my content, my posts are not going to reflect who I'm calling in if I don't trust myself. It really such a big deal in the evoluted state that we are at now, in the conscious creation of where we are, that I believe that trust, you know, there's 3 for me. It's acceptance, trust, and love. But trust is all of it, because my actions, I don't trust myself, my actions will reflect it.
It is. Yes. And I was starting to feel emotional even as I was talking about it, because I can feel those collective energies, you know, like that's what we all want at the end of the day, to be accepted, to be in sync, with who we are at a soul level, channeled through our human experience here. And that goes back to what I mentioned earlier about that, you know, what we're talking about right now might not even be something that is unknown to a lot of people, but that's the difference. That's the thing, right? It's moving from an intellectual understanding to a being of it, to an embodiment of it. And that's what I'm teaching in this retreat over those 2 days.
Tell us more about the retreat. What are the dates, and how does it, what does it feel like?
Yeah, so it feels like home. It feels like a homecoming. It's a circle of sisterhood. It's meant to stay intimate. So a group of people, but not a ton of people, right? And it's really that homecoming to you. Your records are you. They're your soul's library of every experience, past, present, future, every lifetime, everything, anything that that you ever will experience or have experienced or are experiencing now, and it is the ultimate resource for developing that full embodiment of the trust that we were talking about. So really home, a homecoming, a sisterhood, a revealing of the highest aligned aspect of you is really the only way I can describe it. And as you know, there aren't human words for so much of what we're talking about here, right? So because our ego mind wants all of the words, right? And that's one thing that I want to encourage those who are listening, right, is beyond listening to what we're saying, feel that, feel the energies of that. So that being said, this experience is on October 14th and 15th. It's over a weekend, and it's only a few hours per day. So it's 10 to 3 Pacific time, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time each day. And the investment for the retreat is $888 through September 29th if they enroll early. So after that, it's $1111. And so on top of early enrollment, for those who are watching this video, you can actually receive an additional $200 off by using promo code MG, as in Mary Good. So it's an amazing, I mean, honestly, a no-brainer investment, you know, and you'll obviously have the recordings for lifetime access. If you're unable to attend live, it will definitely be recorded. However, I highly recommend that you prioritize yourself, that you give yourself permission to create that space to show up live, because there is an energy of being in circle live that is really potent beyond, you know, what I'll be teaching there.
I think, as I heard earlier and spoke earlier, it's way easier to embody all your bits when you know that there is sisterly support surrounding you. It really is. I have had, well, you know, that's why everything I do is a collaboration now. I'm even talking about my collaborations in my on stage presence, like, who's coming with me? We're getting on stage together. But it's just, it feels really good, because we know as souls that we came here to share our gifts with one another and to reveal, as you said, our gifts together, so they don't feel so different or uncomfortable, or what is the word that I really want to say? So it doesn't feel like crazy town.
So it doesn't feel like isolating. I mean, and that's the thing too, right? It feels like that because we've all been living in a society that promotes conformity. And so, you know, just like losing weight or like changing anything else in your life, it is a process of an intentional process, right? Of stepping beyond that. But yes, no one's crazy. And in fact, the truth is actually the opposite of what many of us have been taught, because the 8 billion of us in the world are meant to be unique, each and every single one of us. And you're meant to shine in that, to shine in being one of a kind. I feel guided to share something, a visual that I see often for humanity is this quilt. And every thread of the quilt is a different, unique color. And they're all different, but they're all interwoven together. That's my favorite way to describe, the collective. Like, we're each meant to be special and one of a kind, but at the same time, we're also connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a puzzle. I just kept getting that puzzle piece. It's like putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and then we have a loving and joy-filled place, and it does exist. Peace on earth does exist. Choose it, right? Choose it and get around other people that are choosing it. I love this. I love every part of this Ascension virtual retreat that you're putting together with Akasha and helping people. I just love hearing this, helping people embody all the bits. Yeah, there's not a lot of words for this. It's a trust. It's a trust knowing that I'm hearing this, I'm listening to this live, I'm listening to this replay, I found this in my email, and it's doing something within you. You're feeling it in your body that you want to move closer toward it, that it's time for you to embrace sisterhood, that it's time for you to step deeper into a different sisterhood sometimes, right? To try a new sisterhood and see what's revealed, because we are all each unique, even if there are words of Akasha, or even if there's words that don't quite, or you haven't quite vibrated with. It's more than the words. It's the people that are coming together. And, I, again, haven't had the physical experience with Jennifer yet, and it's coming. But the people that I have connected with just here in the last 2 weeks that are part of her practices and part of what she's offering to the world, and the way that they speak of you, it's almost like I'm getting bits of your energy before I get the whole kit and caboodle. But we're in powerful times. And the one thing that keeps reflecting when I meet people that know Jennifer is she is one of the most powerful women that they have met. So if you're looking to step and embody more of you, if you are looking to embody all the soul bits of you, all the Akashic wisdom, your records, your true self, your divine nature, and to do that in a nourishing and supported way, well then, October 14, 15, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific?
Yeah.
And don't forget, like, you put my initials in there, MG.
Yes, MG.
And it makes it even easier for you to say yes. So if you're joining us, wherever you find this, in your inbox, on socials, wherever you find our discussion, there's going to be a link. And click the link, go check out the offer, go read all the bits and feel them in your body when you're reading them. Don't just read them and sign yourself off. Actually feel the words in your body, because if you're going that far, if you're seeing this, it's time, sister, it's time. And I'm thinking about jumping in myself.
Oh my God.
I know.
Would love to have you. Oh my gosh. It would be such a blessing and gift to have you. Yeah. I mean, all of what Mary said, and also the Akasha calls, it calls to you. So know that if you're picking up what we're putting down today in this conversation, if you're feeling drawn in any way, pay attention to that,
And you're doing it by the 29th. You're doing it by my mom's birthday. My
mom's birthday. Yes, I love that.
Heavenly birthday. I'm also launching the physical copy of my activations 33 abundant affirmations on my mother's birthday.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's a big day, but go there. Don't forget, put MG in there and you can save another $200, really making this a no-brainer. Like you're putting down what we're laying out for you. It's time. I would highly recommend that if you've never even been in Akasha, but you've been hearing it, right? It's starting to get in your sphere.
Mhm.
Jennifer Spor is the one for you. So thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mary. You're such a light, and what an honor. Thank you so much for our sisterhood and connection. I deeply appreciate you.
Oh, I love you too so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who listened, right? And who's checking in and who's ready to take the next step forward. This is what we came for, y'all. So without further ado, like, let's do this thing. Let's get it done. All right. I love you all for listening. Thank you, Jennifer. I already put the link in the comments. The link is above in the description. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out to me personal and ask anything that you want about Jennifer Spor, I'll tell you how much I love her and how deeply embodied she's already in these practices. So say la vie, everyone. I'm going to go hike with some new
Bye,
people.
everyone.
Bye.